Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into another edition of This Is a Shoot. This is another edition of Tony Khan, Unable to Take the Heat, Part 2. If you want to get caught up, go back in my file. You'll see where I have Part 1 and where I talk about Tony Khan liking, putting this comment out there about the AEW hate being bots. So today is Part 2 of the Tony Khan, the leader of AEW, not being able to handle pressure. He doesn't take blame very well, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, if you have a comment, put the comment down below. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button if you like the content, and hit that subscribe button so you'll never always get up to date when I drop these videos. As always, I want to throw out there that my opinions and what I say about Tony Khan and the things that I read off about Tony Khan is not any way my opinion of AEW, the company, or AEW, the product in which they produce. It's just about the man, the leader, Tony Khan. Everybody also say hello to Wheezy. He's back to try and take a nap, and I'm going to be keeping him awake. Now, today on Part 2, we're going to be talking about Anthony Bowens' comments about Max Caster, and Max Caster rap that got him in trouble and got him suspended from AEW, and we're going to be reading about what Tony Khan had to say about these raps, and the contradiction of what Bowens had to say compared to what Khan had to say, both on Busted Open Radio. Now, this rap happened back in August on AEW Dark. It wasn't on live television. It wasn't for the world to see, just if you was on YouTube to watch the AEW Dark sessions. But here, before we get into that rap, here's what Max Caster said about a couple weeks before this rap ended up happening. And I quote Anthony Bowens, "Max is the music guy. I can't take credit for anything. At most, what I'll do is he'll be like, hey, what can I hit on today? And I'll think you can do this and this. Go take it as you please and see what you come up with. At most, I'll give him like bullet points or stuff maybe he can hit. And he's so creative that he finds these funny bars that he comes up with. And the next thing you know, people are rolling around on the ground laughing or in shock." He continues, he, talking about Tony Khan, pretty much lets us go out and be creative, and that's the most rewarding parts of the journey through our ascension. Obviously, AEW puts us in a position to succeed, but it's very much a sink or swim environment. But we have, I think, the best lifeguards to make sure we don't drown. And the fact that we're connecting with people just by doing stuff that we thought of or we thought would be funny, or hey, let's try this tonight. They allow us to go out there and do it. It's pretty rewarding, especially when you're getting the results that you want. End of quote. I like how he says it's a sink or swim environment, pretty much saying, hey, either you're going to go out there and you succeed or you're going to fail. Well, on this night in August, on AEW Dark, they failed. This rap included things like Simone Biles, when she had the Olympian who dropped out of the Olympics because of mental health issues. A Duke lacrosse scandal back in 2006, I believe, where 3 men were falsely accused of rape. Also, it was talking about how they could be false COVID testing. That's when COVID was still hot and heavy. But here's what Tony Khan had to say on the matter. And I quote, I was not out there in the moment when he did it. It was not during Dynamite. I was out back when Max said this rap. I had not heard it until last night, and truthfully, in the editing process, it should have been caught. We deleted the episode and reposted it and edited it out, but it shouldn't have aired. I put such tight controls on Dynamite, and this would have never happened there because Max raps, I have always gone over with him. And frankly, every segment on Dynamite, I don't script or write wrestlers' promos. But the bullet points I give, in this case, it shouldn't have happened. And what will happen going forward, I will take over the editing Dark Elevation myself. I was already editing Dynamite and Rampage, and I do a lot. And now I will be editing Dark Elevation. It's unfortunate that it came to that. That what he said is very contradicting to what Anthony Bowens said, because Anthony Bowens, and I'm going to show you what I'm reading off of, Anthony Bowens says Tony Khan, pretty much lets us go out there and be creative. And that's the, I guess, the most rewarding part of this journey through our ascension. Obviously, AEW puts us in a position to succeed, but is very much sink or swim. Swim environment. But Tony Khan is over saying, I put tight controls on Dynamite. This would never have happened there because Max's raps, I always gone over with him. But Bowens mentions very strictly that Max comes up with these raps on his own. And here's what I figured what happened. Tony Khan has always seen success in Max Caster's raps, so he just lets him go out there and do whatever. He doesn't row over them with them. He never did. Or if he does, he thought it was funny. He's probably right there with them laughing, saying, yo, that's good. That's pretty creative. I like how you threw that in there. And then it blew up in his face. But it's funny that he suspends Max Caster for this line, saying it crossed the line. When you have MJF during the Brian Pillman segment in Cincinnati talking about drug-addicted mother and calling her Methany, which was a pretty witty thing, but that's okay. And you have Arn Anderson, and all respect to Arn Anderson, going out there on live TV, on Dynamite, talking about Cody Rhodes, and the difference between him and Cody is that he would if someone was robbing him at gunpoint, Cody would give over everything he owned. Well, Arn would pull out his 45 or his Glock and blow his brains out in the street, and then for the next couple weeks to a month, have Arn Anderson constantly going boom. Me personally, I have no issue with that. But that contradicts so much of what happened when that's going on live TV and Dark Elevation gets a little heat because them guys are heels and they're supposed to say this. Yes. Do I think they should stay away from mental health issues? Yes. Yes. Is wrestling entertainment? Absolutely. This is what I'm saying and what other people have said, that everybody wants to see the Attitude Era come back, but when something like this happens, they can't handle it. But here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing. Tony Khan comes in here. He's the hero. He's going to save the day. He's going to be in complete control of all editings go on Dark Elevation, because he's already in complete control of Dynamite and Rampage, and I do a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, that is ego coming through. That is Tony Khan pounding on his chest like King Kong, like he's the king of the world, saying, I already do a lot, but I'm going to take complete control. This will never happen again. I'm going to be in complete control of editing. I'm going to save the day. He puts blame on his editing team. He puts the blame on Max Caster. He may put the blame on himself a little bit, but what's he do? He flips it around. I'm going to save the day. This is what Tony Khan said on Busted Open Radio. You realize Tony Khan can't take any type of heat. As soon as he becomes under fire, as soon as something happens, he suspends Max Caster, which I get. But like I said, that's why I brung up MJF. That's why I brung up Arn Anderson. There was no heat, and at least not to the majority of what we had here. This right here is just the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is just a little inside. It's not about looking at these words. It's about looking at these words and understanding what he's saying, because I heard him on Busted Open, just as I heard Anthony Bowens on Busted Open before Tony Khan had to come on. Tony Khan, you were not a hero. You were just egotistical. You're an egotistical man. And as this series continues, go back and watch part 1. I want you guys to see just how egotistical this man is and how much his pride gets in the way. I love AEW, but I don't like the owner. That being said, if you're still with me, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and leave a comment down below what you think about Tony Khan and what you think of this situation. And I'll see you guys later.